Hi guys, it's Blackie and welcome back to the channel. Okay, it's coming up on springtime. And springtime means a time to get out and do outdoor activities like camping, fishing, etc. Now, if we're going fishing, then of course rod and reel, full-size cane poles are the way to go. But what if we're not here specifically to fish? What if we're going to hike into an area just carrying our backpacks, haversacks, etc. and we want the opportunity to maybe pick up a fish for a meal while we're out there, a little bit of foraging, you know what I mean? Well, then we might not tote the big old bulky rods and reels because I just want to fish for a fish, a meal, not spend an afternoon type deal. And so I may want to carry something smaller. Now in the past I have showed my old hobo fisher. And for those of you that recognize my channel, know I've had this thing a long time. I made ones like this when I was a kid. And all it was an old handle off of a mop or a broom or a piece of dowel. On the end you've got about a 3-inch or 2.5 inch wood screw poked through a hole in what was a dog food can or soup can or something and went into the middle of the stick. These lids can be found around where the dog food and cat food are, and it's the lid that you put back on after you dip some out of the dog food cans. I just cut a hole around it where it would slide down onto the stick, and therefore you put your tackle down inside of it, and then you put your line wrapped around the outside. Now this has been a good one for quite a while. But at the same time, I was recently gifted with the modern version, much more compact version of it. This is something that'll easily slide into a haversack. And this is a KA-BAR version of it. And I'm not sure the exact name, but as you can see it says KA-BAR right there. And it has a spool area, and this is exactly the same way. You will have the line and you'll take your finger and pinch the line. You will then sling it, and when you go to sling it you let go and it will spool off, land in the water, and then you will take and go around the line with this hand and take this hand and do this and wind it back up. That way you can do like that where the line will come through here and you wrap it around that, and that's how you can reel with it. Now yes, you can pull a couple of little bitty lures and things, but this will wear out. You get tired fairly quickly. But for fishing for a half hour or so trying to catch a fish, no big deal. But my preference for this is like it is for that old one, is hook and line. A hook, a BB shot, and a cork. I can look for dead trees, rotten logs. That's the best thing to look for fish bait. Because when you get into those and you start pulling up the bark off of those dead trees, rotten logs, you're going to find grubs, you're going to find all kinds of bugs, worms, etc. It's a haven for fish bait. And so when I'm looking for fish bait in the wild, I'm looking for a dead tree down. That's the best source of it. Now it may be different where you're at, but where I'm at, if it's black, it's bitter. So if it's a black bug, a black worm, a black cricket, something like that, it's lousy fish bait because the fish know black is bitter and won't bite it. So light, tan, white, that's okay, just not black as far as fish bait. We're going to rig this up. I'm going to show you how I rig one up and the why I rig it up in a certain way, and a couple little things I did for it. Okay, let me adjust the camera. Okay, there's the official name of it, is the KA-BAR Kaster. Okay, now this particular one has a clip to hold the line, which I think is very cool. Here's the actual spool, and then if you twist, it opens up to an internal compartment. Now I'll talk about this in a second, but you've got storage on the inside of it. Now I put a couple of these small little corks in there. That to me is about sufficient for what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to drop the corks in, just like that. And now for something to put the shot and the BBs in. Now they come in little packets like this. And yes, you could wad them up and stuff them in there. But that's going to take up really a lot of space for it. And what I like to use is true turn hooks. This one is going to be a number 8 panfish crappie. That's what I like to use. And but you see, for that you'd only have like 6 or 7 hooks in there for that big old packet. So I take them out of there, and here is the BB shot that we're going to be using. There's 60 of them in there, but I don't need that much. So to make something small and more compact, you know that tube that BBs come in for your old Daisy Red Ryder? I took one, I just cut it off to length. I'll use these spacers for something else. And that makes something that I can take and dump out in my hand to get the itty bitty hooks in the shot and not make a big mess. Something I can control like this, see, to put them back in. Now yes, you could, wiggle wiggle, yes you could, just like with this, dump it out like this. The problem with that is those corks are going to want stuff to slide everywhere. And from past experience, I can tell you, not with this, but something similar to this, the cigar tubes make, the ones that got little caps on it, makes good containers for fishing lures. I want to be able to dump it out in my palm and pick out the hook, because I may have different size hooks, and the which size split shot I want. And I want to be able to control it really close. And this is a little awkward. So I want those in there. I prefer something like this that I can hold and screw, twist the lid to make sure there ain't a hook hanging onto it, and then be able to just tap it and get out a hook like that in a couple of pieces of shot without having to spend a lot of time with it, and then put it back together. See? Okay, now let's put the line on here. And the line that I've got on here, that I'm going to be putting on here, is 30-pound spider wire. Now, Blackie, that sounds awful extreme. Well, hold on a minute. If you read in the fine print right there, I hope it'll focus in on that, it says the size of it is the same size as 8-pound test line. So the diameter of it is the same size as 8-pound, but it's a 30-pound, so it's a whole lot stronger, thin line. And I like braid because if the line needs to be used for something else, like sewing thread, I can do it. Now this is braid, which means it's finely twisted together. Alright. You've got this handy little piece of tape right there to hold the line. It's a small diameter, as you can see. It's green, so it'll blend in well, but it's very strong, and therefore in an emergency situation I can use it as sewing line as well. Okay, let's put the line onto it. We're going to take that off just to make it a little easier to get hold of and twist around. I'm going to take a length of the line, I'm going to pinch it like that, and I'm going to go around the spool. I'm going to go around about 8 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and finally 8. That makes a V right there. I'm going to come around that V, making sure I stay on that spool. That plastic's awful slick. I'm going to take that free end, I'm going to come up through it, that V, and I'm going to turn around and go back through this loop I've just created. Just like that. I'm going to pull that tight. Now I'm going to slide her down, just like that, until it binds up on the spool itself, just like that. Then I'm going to take that little tab and do one more half hitch on there. That will hold. Now this excess little tab, I know you can't see this stuff. I'm going to trim it off short so it doesn't interfere. Just like that. Alright. Now we're going to put it onto here. We're going to anchor it. And we're going to start winding. Turn that over so that tape won't interfere with me. We're going to wind it on there. How much? Well, I don't need 100 yards on here. I only need about 30 yards, 40 yards, something like that. Because this is just a hand line. I'm not going to be casting 200 yards. And if I do break a line, I want 2 or 3 full resets. So all I'm doing is just letting it spool off, and I'm just going to go around and wind it. I want it to be a full bank of line, but not a huge amount. If I can have a good long cast, and if I break off the line because of a fish or something, I can have an additional 1 or 2, just put another hook and another cork on it and be able to utilize it. Okay, I'm thinking that's about enough right there. So I'm going to take my line right here, take that handy little piece of tape, re-secure my line, cut that line off. There we go. Now to help hold this so this doesn't go all over the place, I'm going to take that clip and let it hold the line so it doesn't spiral off. Now we need to get the glasses on, because you know that Blackie is blind and can't see without his glasses up close. Alright, we're going to take a cork. We're going to take the stick out of it, put the cork in. And for the moment, we're just going to stick that stick there so we don't lose it. And now we need a hook. We're going to take that, shake it out in the hand where we can get a hold of a singular hook. Just like that. And we're going to use the exact same tying technique we did to tie the line onto here. You go, just look up fisherman's knot, go through, double it back over, twist the hook 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, go back through the opening we created, doubling it back over and through itself, just like that. Pull it all tight, just like that. Slide everything down there. Alright, and now we trim off that little excess so it don't warn the fish that it's about to be biting something like a hook. Good sharp knife makes life easy. Okay, now the BB shot. The weight of the BB shot, just like that. Notice how that little bitty tube makes it easy for me to index just one thing. For this to be set up, here's the hook, here's the cork. I would come up about 6 inches and put this piece of BB shot. But these BB shot, I know you can't see it, they have teeny little wings today on the back of them. That allows you to squeeze it and open it and squeeze it and close it. So for storage, I'm going to put it right down here at the hook itself. I'm just going to put it up there and then squeeze it with my fingers so it sticks just like that. Now to store this whole unit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the clip off. I'm going to pull that little stick out. and I'm going to take the hook and come around like this and put the tip of the hook into the cork, just like that. My little split shot didn't fully close. There we go. Alright, now we're good. So I hook the hook onto the top of the cork, and then I wind it so it pulls it down snug. Now once it's good and snug, then I put my little stick back in snug to keep the whole thing in place. And then I come from the back side with the clip, see? So now that clip's going to keep this from coming loose in the pack. That cork will keep that hook from fouling up on me. And so this can be easily carried in the pack. Now, as you know, with Blackie, I believe in all survival gear, and that little cut down tube drops right in there, seals up. I want orange on this because I want to be able to see it. Should I drop it or whatever and it go bloop down in dark water, I wouldn't be able to see this. So I want orange on it to help me identify it. Plus, I want a lanyard on it for my wrist. I'll pull it off something about like, say that. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Around and do that. Pull down on it, just like that. Cut that excess off. And give me one more knot just for security. Alright, now that lets me have a lanyard I can put my hand into, see? I can also then twist this up so that when I go to cast, if this should somehow slip out of my hand, I don't lose it. You know, I am old, I do have arthritis, and if for whatever reason I just lost my grip, I don't want to throw my reel into the water. Bloop, this will help keep it on me. Plus this lanyard should be long enough to come up here and hook onto this right here, especially if I pull that knot around there. Yeah, it'll go just like that. Quick and handy, easy to utilize. And that is rigged up and ready to go on the top of a haversack to be used as something to get me a meal at my next camp out. So, fairly small and compact. I can carry this on a carabiner on my belt, or I can slide it somewhere in a piece of pack or gear and easily retrieve it. Now with this, it's easy to get an extra meal out of it. Forage a little bit and pick up something at the lake or on the stream or whatever. As I'm hiking from A to B, if I see a really nice piece of water and have got the time to stop and cook what I catch, I could do it really easy. It doesn't weigh nothing, it's very light, and it's something that I could throw in a pack. See what I'm saying? Light and easy. Now, in upcoming videos here pretty soon, we're going to be going to the lake. We're going to do a little canoeing, we're going to do a little bit of fishing this spring. I know I promised last year and I didn't get around to it, but I've got help this year. My good friend Steve Kingsbury has volunteered to go out there and keep Blackie's nose to the grindstone and actually film some fishing videos. So that's coming. And one of these, to be able to throw in a pack, is just quick and easy. Now I got mine from Fibpreparedness, and so I'll put that down in the link if you want to look up them. Just give them a shout out. They're good people. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please hit that like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.